Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another video here on the Life and Legacy Circle channel. If you don't know, my name is Eric Martin. Designed this channel to help families have those difficult conversations and those awkward conversations about estate planning and how to go about it. If you missed my last video, I'm going to put a link here for it. It is about how to have those awkward conversations to get to this point of how to prepare. And when I say prepare, I simply mean you've already had those conversations. You've decided to go talk to an attorney about estate planning and set whatever up or however it is you wanted. And it is in your best interest or your family's best interest on how those things were set up, whether it be trusts, whether it be just wills, whether it be living wills, whatever it is. All of that stuff is done. Now comes the preparation part. And what I mean by preparation simply is, where are all the documents? Where are the wills? Where are the information for the the checking accounts, the savings accounts, the bonds, the stocks? So what you really need to do now is write everything down and find a spot for it and let somebody know where that spot is. It could be a safe in the home. It could be a safety deposit box in a bank. It could be on a thumb drive. It could be on your computer. Um, if you're storing it on a computer, I would definitely say save it to a thumb drive just in case something happens to that computer. It can still be found and looked at later on through that thumb drive. But there's a lot of different systems, a lot of different ways. You could just leave it in file folders in a filing cabinet, anything like that. But you have to be sure that whoever is taking care of the estate has the ability to be able to find all the information that they're going to need in a, I'm not saying a very quick manner. It's not like imperative. It's not like as soon as somebody passes away, they need everything in like 24 hours. But they need to have access to it, because the last thing you want to do is have a family member or the person in charge of the estate, the executor, or whatever they're called in your state, um, searching and searching and searching and searching and searching, trying to find what is in the will, trying to find that information, trying to find account numbers, trying to find bonds, trying to find what the account numbers for the stocks are, where, like, who was holding the stocks. Was it your personal self that's holding the stock, or is it a broker that's holding the stock? Who do we get in touch with to let them know that so and so is passed away or deceased, and we need to move this on, or move this into this spot, or move this into that spot? That, I think, is where a lot of people get hung up. Now, when you talk to your attorneys and you set all of this stuff up, there are some attorneys and some estate planners that I'm sure will help you decipher all of this and put it into a certain spot, but that's going to cost you money. So I have heard, I just talked to my estate planner. There were probably about $2,000 to $3,000 to take care of some of the paperwork. I have heard that there are some all the way up to like $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. So the bigger the accounts are, and I guess the amount of, I don't want to say the amount of money, but the amount of work that's going to need to go into that estate, of course, that dollar amount will probably go up because your attorney is going to be spending more time on it. The other thing is that, and this is brought up to me and never even gave it a thought, was your attorney basically will just do the paperwork for you. They will take care of the living will, the trusts, the this, the that's, and they're going to ask, what do we have, blah, 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 blah. But when the time comes, they don't know where so-and-so put all the information. So they're not going to be able to find it for you or help you search your house for it or search, in bank records or computer records. So at the end of the day, preparation is what's going to really help your family stay stress free from having to search and search and search and search. Now, if you have somebody who is like my mother, who is a analytical person, like everything was in its own folder and she was well organized, which is something that I did not pick up at all. I am the most disorganized person you would probably ever want to meet when it comes to certain things. But it made it easier for myself because I knew that if I went into this filing cabinet, I was going to find X, Y, Z. I was going to find the paperwork for the banks, the paperwork for the stocks. I knew from what was told to me about where certain things were and what safes they were in and what safes to check. That was the preparation, because I knew going in after my father passed and then after my mother passed, what I had, what I needed to pay attention to first, second, third, fourth, like it was already kind of set in, which made life so easy. So just think about the preparation part. Just because you've done the estates, the wills, and all of the paperwork, and the power of attorneys, and all of that stuff, that's great. That's step number one. Step number two now is to prepare what you have to give to your family and make sure that it is, I don't want to say completely accessible to them, because you obviously don't want them to really be able to see what's coming ahead and things like that. Maybe you do and maybe you don't. But when the time comes for them to need to process all the paperwork, process the accounts, switch stuff over, put it in the estates, will it out, do whatever it is that you had planned for it, this is the time to start preparing it. This is the time to start putting it in formats and putting it in spots to be able to be accessed later on. And then once all of that happens, then life is going to be easy. You're not going to be stressing out when the time comes. Your family won't be stressing out after the time comes. So those are just a few of my tips. If you liked what you heard, subscribe to this channel. We'll be putting out more and more content. We will hopefully have some special guests come on and give some insight and give some information. And if you yourself have gone through something like this and have any kind of information that might help another family down the road, throw a comment in down below. We also will have a Facebook group that is private that will help and support a lot of other families so they don't feel all alone. That's the other thing, is you can really feel alone in a moment like this. And that's why I created Life and Legacy Circle, to help families not feel like that. So I'll catch you on the next video, and subscribe.